Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome back to another Junkview. Reviewing the junk. And this one I have hopes. Because in Junkview terms, if a tire is a copy of some other tire, and in that I mean, like, let's talk about scale tires. So you take a Trepador or a Baja Pro X or something like that, and they make a scale tire of it, and you can get good examples of it. They're out there. And then you make a clone of that tire. As far as I'm concerned, you're already starting 2 steps behind, because some things just don't translate. There are a lot of real-world tread compounds that do not do well here in the toy car realm. So when I see a Junkview tire that is just a tire, like it's not a version of anything else, at least to my knowledge. And in the case of the Chanmoo that we are testing today, so far as I'm aware, this isn't anything. If you blew that, like, that's a big lug. If you were to blow these up to full size, I kind of like how they have like hexagons. There's like a hexagon repeating pattern. Crawler tires rock terrain, and I feel I have to point out that the tread is fully symmetrical. It's just the same side twice, save for one thing. Right here you have the A in terrain, and then on the other side, the A in terrain, like, you know, the Italian Lavazza, how it has the taller A, just that one. I don't know why. These are beefy. These are beefy stout. And hear that? Little stickiness to it. They have a little off. There's something a little off to their odor. Nice, big, chunky beadlock lip. No ribbing, no belting. A little thicker across the carcass, a little bit over 2 millimeters, and the sidewall feels pretty uniform. It doesn't step down. But I have hopes for this tire for a couple reasons. A, the width. B, we've got chunky sidewall lug. Also, this tire, what does it say on the side? 115 by 50. Yeah, I could see that. Much of this tire's OD and width are brought about by the lug. We're talking like 8 millimeter high lugs. So the foam, the included foam, like, look how much lower the foam is than the tire, because we have so much lug height. Now, this is a foam that we cannot use. It is what I call oversize, undersize. The hole in here, let me grab the ring. Like this will be an absolute bear to mount. And we don't have to worry about it, because this is very, very, very firm. These are hard. And they tend to overstuff, and this would be overstuffed, because the inside of the carcass is actually pretty small relative to the overall outside size of the tire. So we are mounting them on Canyon Customs. Softs in the front, mediums in the rear. And the soft is 2 layers of wraps of reticulated polyethylene, and the rear is just a medium hair bun over a closed cell inner. We can move that out of the way. Pardon me, Susan. So the fitment is good. And from the outside of this tire, when you look at the outside of this tire relative to one of these, I mean, this is a big fella. But the width feels okay. We still have a little bit of, it's not tight. You don't want the tire super tight against the sides of the insert. The other 3 mounted up without too much drama, unlike some tires that we've tested in the past. And I did find that they are just sticky enough to where it's just going to save us a lot of trouble to just juice them up from the beginning. Because then the halves just drop in. These were particularly easy to mount And I am all for that because a tire should not fight you. I think the 50 millimeter width is certainly a contributing factor there in the ease and mountability. And, well, one of my favorite tires is, you know, traditionally and will forever be the Texas Canyon Trail. A tire that is determinedly directional. I do have a soft spot for wholly non-directional tires. If just for, like, the longevity is going to be higher. You're going to get more time out of this. If it's a tire that proves to be something that's more trail-oriented, when you get too much feather on the lead end of the block, you just flip that tire around, run it on the other side, and now you're wearing the other side of the block. Directional tires, particularly those like the Canyon Trail, you can only run it one way. So once it's worn to a certain point, we'll get a little bit of the juice off here. Once it's worn to a certain point, that tire is done. Before we bring its friends out, how close are we going to get to the sidewall marcated 115 by 50? Well, they are bigger than that. They're about 118, maybe 119. So we're right in that 475 area. And they are indeed about a 52. So that's a wide boy. Point of comparison. Tusk. Yeah, that's a beefy boy. I have hopes, as I said, because we're not based on anything real world, at least so far as I know. If it is, somewhere out there, there is a beefy tire out there. That is a huge tread block. And I think there might be some advantage to a tread block that big because I don't know. Maybe it's because I want there to be an advantage to a tread block that big and I have nothing to base it off of. Honestly, that sounds as accurate as anything else. I think they're going to do pretty well at self-right. Like, the rim is way down in there. I like a chunky tire. Honestly, I was hoping that we would get closer to the 115 than to the 120. Oh boy. That's a big chunky boy. The real hope here is that, oh, he's doing it again. Okay, that's a rear. That's a rear. As is tradition, we have to mount at least one tire backwards if applicable. And if backwards is not an option, we will instead mount a rear on the front and or a front on the rear. And we've done it again. We've done it again. Chanmoo. I already forgot what they say. Rock terrain crawler tires. I like a thing that says what it is. We're not gussying it up, you know. That's a big wide tire. So we'll find out how angry the Lexan noises are. We will run the protocol, and we will see how these do. These were another in the list of Black Friday purchases, but they were right. I've had to the economy. I've had to bump up the Junkview test number a little bit. I like to try to stay under $25, but 25 to 30 is starting to become like the commonplace price point for these guys, and most of the tires out there now are $29 to $33 a pair for proper tires. So you're coming in under half no matter what. And I've kind of agreed that in 9 out of 10 cases, we're just discarding the stock foam. It's going to be too hard. It's going to be too fragile. It's not going to fit the tire right. These are definitely in the realm of what? That's too solid of a sound. This is bordering on sofa cushion And it's still so crazy how small they are compared to the tire because of the size of that tread block. We're going to run it through the protocol. I am going to find the board, and we are going to head on out and see how the Chanmoo rock terrain crawler tires do. It's a junk tire. It's thankfully not a clone of anything else. And let's at least go into this with cautious optimism. Let me tell you a little bit something about the tires, which we will, moving forward, be referring to simply as Chanmoos. And that is that these tires are 52 millimeters wide, as stated, and 52 millimeters wide is very wide. Let me see if we can get the, there you go. Like, if you've got fenders, these gonna rub on them. just due to the, look at that thing sticking out of that wheel well. That is a wide tire. Oh, I would be remiss. As we have stated in the past, the difference between a Junkview and a Junkview is the overall scoring, the system of scoring, and if they make a clean pass on slick rock, which is over the kidney bean right there in front of the tire and then up the little mini wall, then you are generally scored under Junkview scoring, which is a more, like, we expect more of you. Now this tire at its price point, it's above $25 a set, and the foams are completely disposable. So I would not be averse to Junkview scoring, but it is up to the tire to tell us. And we gotta wait to see if they clean off a little. No, we are safely in Junkview scoring. Not only that, I am at full lock. That took a lot just to get the front end over. Oh yeah, that that forward drive is bad. This is the opposite instance of we have tires taking advantage of their narrowness. This is a tire that makes no advantage of its width, except that ordinarily that'd be a rollout right about there. You have to make it above, you've got to, whether it is a direct pull, let me try the shuttle. You've got to make it onto the platform to even score. And, ooh, these are looking real. It is very early, but we haven't seen this one bad in a while. There's a great many a tire that has finished the full tire test protocol, and I've never had to get off the bucket chair once. I'm already up for these. Oh, man. Oh, that fallback. Not even with throttle. Oh, oh, whoo. But we'll give him one more lick at it. Quite a bit of lug noise. Oh. Try a little bit of polish, a little bit of grit and polish here. Just give it a few seconds there. Ooh, I see no transfer. It's going to fall off. Yay! Okay. Well, I mean, benefit of doubt on top of benefit of doubt. For those unfamiliar with Junkview scoring, basically a 7 is... The score only goes to 5. A 5 is basically a 0. Try to stay with me. A 7 is also basically a 0, but you manage to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? If we don't get it up to the top, like if it can't under any condition make it to the top here, that's we're going to give you a 5. But it made it to the top, and it did it almost as badly as could be expected. So the Chanmoo here will bring a 7.1, which is... Remember the where the points are made up. Remember this scale, that a 7 is basically an outright failure. I scored that before going here. We're gonna get a good amount of lug noise. It does also hurt the turning circle. The turning circle is less than optimal because of just the sheer width of the tire. This was the opportunity right here to pick up a 10th maybe, but basically if you have to go above about 20% throttle. I had landed on 7.1 before we even got over there. Ooh, I can forecast to a part where we witness a 5. Everything, not everything, but everything grows out of forward drive. So if we can't pull up over this ledge without use of a fair decent amount of throttle, we can't have to bounce into every scenario. Come on. I will take the left-hand shuttle if it's what it takes to get you over this. They drive genuinely. This is a tire sitting right around 120. They don't drive that tall. That is, we were well past 50% throttle to get up to that. Now, it has made it, so we are at least a 7. See how this goes? Basically, a 70 is not as bad as you can do, but it's as bad as you can do and still do it. Like, it is the minimum accepted amount of success. And I feel like I'm driving to the tire a little bit now, so I know that, oh, that's bad. Yeah, for a 120 tire, these ride very low. And I don't know why that is. Yeah, again, so much application of throttle, so little reward to it. I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna let's see how many 7.1s this tire can put up. We just hope that it will do something. No tire, with one exception, with the exception of the Boom Racing Hustler, no tire has been terrible at everything. Just like no tire is truly fantastic at everything. Tires with very high forward drive scores tend to not do as well at things like this, lateral grip, because they sacrifice a lot to get that forward drive. Pretty planted here. I try to kind of minimize steering input to see how much slide the rear end is going to take. This is a grip and slip sort of environment, and that honestly, in Junkview tires, that was like top 10% of Junkview tires. So This tire has fully upside down. It has turtled twice now. This tire has already surprised me because that side hill ability, that's actually, okay, I'm going to go higher. Yeah, because we have so much slip. Yeah, is that going to drop the rear end? Nope, stayed on. Okay, I'm going to go high line of attack right here. We got to try to keep the axle about parallel with that little wedge shape. And we want to... Yeah, but see. That's wide open. This is a tire without an excess of grip. Now, it cleared that side hill. It's crazy. I wanted to say 9.0, but when we engaged a little bit higher of a line, it just fell out the line. So this score is going to be wild. This score is going to be all over the place because I'm giving that an 8.7 on side hill, and I don't know if I've seen a tire jump that much between one test aspect and the other. So we are in uncharted waters. So we don't have a lot of forward drive. We don't actually have a lot of lateral stability. A passing score here is at least the ability to do the shuttle move, which is right there, and it just centered us back out. Yeah, the positionability is actually really poor. But right there, we were rewarded by 52 millimeter Chanmoo stability. Positionability is very poor. Excessive throttle, but what did we do? We did it. We did the thing. So that's at least a 7. Now we try the other side. Yeah, that's... This is a tire that had a little bit of stickiness to it on the bench. Ordinarily that translates. We are not mechanically hung by anything. If I shuttle to this side, you can see there's nothing to hang up on. The positionability is really quite bad. I mean, find a tire that can speed spin it in more situations than this one. I challenge you. Again, I'll just say it right now. It did it. It made the one side, it made the other side. As badly as you can. 7.1. The width does not help this tire. It does not ride as high as the... I've driven tires in the 115 to 118 high range that have much better clearance behaviors than this. Oh man. All right, we'll try this side first. It shot us that way. I loved the look of that big lug. I still like the look of these tires. Okay. Okay, that's not a 7.1. That's a little better than a 7.1. Took a little longer than I would have liked to get into position. And the girth of these does help keep this guy four-wheel level. Well, like breakover's not great. Surprisingly, at a 475, coming at the other side. Show me. Oh, okay. No tire's bad at everything. A broken clock is right twice a day. Face the wall. Face the wall. All right. I will be shocked. What did we say at the Beast? 7.1. Y'all said 7.1, right? I'm gonna go with a 7.7 here at Oblivion. I would like to see this tire get into the 8s again. We've got bump test and we've got self-riding in there. It might jump up and surprise us, but the expectations have been very tempered at this point. I'm trying to get the camera set up to where I can do this triple setup without moving the camera. Again, hard carcass, but so we've made it up the soft side of the standard Daphne's third side, and not terrible at it. But what have we got on what I call the soft side? Yeah. Can watch it just feed us straight back. Much as I would enjoy. Ooh, haha. Much as I would enjoy another 7.1. We're going to go in the middle. I'm going to give it a 7.0 on the soft side and a 7.5 on Daphne's side. So we're going to average that out, and we're going to round down a little bit. We're going to go to a 7.2 on that one. So let's look at our bumps. Okay, that slow pull, not bad. Over to the other side. No, we could. No, there's. This tire lacks forward drive, just outright. Bit of a donkey kick, definitely more than you would expect to see from a double bun. Pretty straight on the bump though. How much fallback? Not a lot of fallback. That's not bad. That is not bad. This is two numbers. I gotta write two numbers down before we get to recording the third number. I said we were rounding down at Daphne's to 7.2. The dead bump, I'm gonna go 8.1. That's an 8. That's an 8 score bump. It's not great, and it doesn't have the forward drive to back up that bump. So any ground you gain on the bump, you're probably gonna lose most of it. That width, though, had to really get it over there. Ooh! Do it again. Yeah, see, that's what we like. That's a hefty shoulder lug right there. This tire is wild. This tire is going to get an aggregate score that is not indicative of, I think, the performance of the tire, because highs and lows, man, this is like we've brought the best runner on the track team into the high dive competition, right? Just because he's good at one thing doesn't mean he's good at the other. Yeah, okay. One more. We do the seesaw. Yeah. That's the steer towards the ground, all with forward throttle, then you steer back, then towards the ground again. Pop. Yeah. This I don't know. I do not know what to make of this tire. That is a 9.1 on self-riding. Perhaps, and I don't think in small part due to the fact that look at how wide that tire is. It is sticking out 12 millimeters out from under each fender. That is That is a chunky boy. So coming off of that hot self-right performance. No, they're too closely packed. Like, I thought that big 52 would give us some float. They can, yeah, these are saw blades. That is the quickest and deepest I have seen a tire dig. Oh, if we get any tire at all onto the really loose stuff. This is the more hard pack over here. Come down this way. We will try to branch them together. A little bit loose, a little hard here. Trying to get a tire to grab. No, it's just a powder bowl. I can't say that this did the thing. The lug spacing. When you get into really soft like this, the lug spacing just acts like we're on a slick. Like, look at the drop. Look at it slide. If we could maintain any sort of line consistency, like if the entry point on the line and the exit point on the line was at about the same plane, I could view that as something. These just dig. I look right there. I can't even. I just got out of it, and then we just fall. We fall away. Maybe on the real slow. No, look at this fall. Oh, I'm not comfortable. It's just, we're just averaging scores out. I'm not comfortable giving it a 5, but I am very comfortable giving it a 6.0. If you don't do the thing, you're eligible for a score below a 7. I thought for sure this thing would be able to transition between one surface to another, at least a little bit, but, huh. Hold on. Oh, because the weight. Yeah, see, when you have a vehicle with a rock crawler that has much more forward weight bias, when we try to drive up this soft dirt hill in reverse, it loads more weight onto the heavy axle. Let's just saw a groove. No, I'm fine with the 6. I'm 100% fine with the 6. So we do the double on at Slick Rock. We see if we've gotten any better. Oh, look at the, I don't know if that dirt is all falling out of the tires or out of the body or where all that's falling out of. But no, I can say with some authority that this hasn't gotten any better. I smell it. Can you smell what the 5 is cooking? We could well be in line for another of that number. Water it down. When you have a 7.1, which means you have enough forward drive to complete the obstacle, but not do it in any sort of respectable fashion. Now, we have seen tires, they are rare, they are few, and they are far between, that honestly do better wet than dry. This is not one of them. Let's lock it in. So we can, we're getting a little tiny bit of hop in the rear, but nothing really, nothing worthy of note. I have set the radio down and I've picked the pen up. That's a 5, that's a 7. Again, this is a score. Wait, hold on. There we go. This is a numerical score that has not, the aggregate score is not reflective of the overall performance. generally, if nothing else, we can expect of a tire of this sort of lack of performance factor some level of consistency. We had a bunch of scores in the 7, and as the testing went on, it got worse and worse. Transition between surfaces at teardrop was terrible. Wet rock, we pull a 5. Failure to at least get to the top somehow is number 5. To get up there right there, I had to drive all the way around. I had to drive on rocks that aren't wet. So in wet, this guy is definitely a 5. The amazing self-righting and the ability to side hill pretty well. They blow the whole score out of alignment. We take those away, and this is a tire in the upper 60s. As it is, its cumulative score is 73.1, and I don't think that 73.1 should have an asterisk next to it, because this tire is good at basically 2 things: self-righting and side hilling, and the inserts inside are giving it every imaginable advantage. So in terms of rock, I can't see this tire for trail use. I can't see this tire for rock crawling use. I can't see this tire for any use. What happens to tires like this is they generally end up on the skewer. Over at Mavericks, Canyon regulars will know what that means. This is a pretty epic failure in tire terms, because a total average aggregate score of 75 is basically a tire that can just barely pass the tests presented to it. Like, we would have some grip on wet. We would have some ability to do this. We would have some forward drive. And this tire is either really good at 2 things and genuinely fairly bad at everything else. I hazard to recommend any tire that scores an aggregate score below an 80, particularly when fake tusks, Enduro Pro comps, etc. are cheaper, cost less than these. And those tires did well. Those are the kings of the hill right now, in Junkview terms, because they are tires that are good enough to be basically scored by Quickview scoring. In Quickview scoring, the fake tusk is a high 80s, just under a 90 tire, and the Enduro was Quickviewed and comes in at around a 93. Very good tire. There's nothing more to say about the Chanmoo. Great name, tire looks good, overly wide. Performance does not deliver. It's a shame. 73.1, and honestly, I would give it like if I was giving it a score, non-test based, non-scientifically granted, 69.5. That's where we're going to go with that. And a 69.5 is firmly in the do not buy territory. So there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us here on another beautiful, lightly clouded day here in the canyon. It keeps the shadows minimal. Like you notice, he's barely casting a shadow. What a great day, even with a terrible tire in the mix. So thank you so much for watching. I invite you to comment below with any questions, comments, or concerns you might have. Please do consider a channel membership, or at the very least liking and subscribing, or picking up a t-shirt over from Cafe Press. I theoretically make $2. I've mentioned it before. We will see you in the next one. In between now and when we meet again, I hope that you one and all do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We will see you again here very soon from the canyon. Everything is not awesome. Apologies to Unikitty. And there is no guarantee that things will get better. That is a logical fallacy. But we hope, nonetheless, such it is to be human.